The Book Cooks. Welcome back to The Book Cooks.
Episode 12? 13?
I think 13.
Wow. How about those Chiefs?
Super Bowl champions.
Still living in it a little bit.
I mean, the game obviously went well emotionally.
It went great for us.
It went great. There were some ups and downs and some ebbs and flows.
Yeah, of course.
But the show plays hit, both of them. Mahomes over 19.5 rushing yards.
Easy.
And Chiefs money line. Double zinger there.
On top of that, I was up 3.5 units. You were up over 4.
4.2.
And although I didn't sweep the coin flip heads, opening kickoff touchback, we did split those. So, Gainwell was easy. That was super fucking sharp. Hurts touchdown. What was it? It was the first touchdown of the game. Mm-hmm. Was his rushing TD?
I had him 2+ rushing touchdowns.
Plus 650.
It was plus 550.
Sheesh.
Yeah, and then I had Goddard over 4.5 receptions. They were feeding him. And then I had the heads with you. That one didn't hit. And then the one that I didn't, other one that I didn't hit was the longest field goal over 46.5 yards. I mean, Buckers wasn't that deep anyways, but those defenses could not get a stop to save their lives.
Kelsey, A.J. Brown, 50+ receiving yards, plus 100. That was a gift of a boost from FanDuel. That was another 1.5 unit play. So both 1.5 unit plays hit. We lose Devontae Smith anytime TD on a tragic play. How does he not get in there? That still runs in my head every once in a while.
Yeah, it was just kind of confusing.
When he caught that ball and then had like 2 or 3 yards left and just kind of fell out of bounds.
I think he was just securing the catch.
I guess so.
He wasn't secure.
But that was one of our losses, and then our long shot was my other loss. But still, up 3.5 units, and we split the ones that were for fun anyway. So
yeah.
It's always fun to sweat the opening kickoff touchback, and it was funny because I was at the bar. And there was like 5 minutes after the opening kickoff touchback, a couple of kids walked up to me and they were like, "Dude, did you see the opening kickoff?" Because they'd seen me do that before, and so they came up to me and they were like, "I was thinking about it when they were kicking off. I was thinking about you sweating it," and so I thought that was funny.
You must have felt really, really, really cool.
I was just like, "Oh, that's funny that you guys think about me when you see an opening kickoff in the playoffs."
Yeah. I mean, ever since my brother brought the idea up to me, I'm just like, dude,
it's an electric win.
Starts you off.
It's an electric win.
And then, even if it loses, you're just like, all right, we'll get it back. We'll get it back.
Live bet.
I don't know. Something's going to happen here. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a little break from football there. And then the Combine this week, I got the pleasure to go to it, work it. So, got to see the guys up close and personal.
And Hunter's a big draft guy, so he's been paying very close attention to the Combine as well. That should be something that we touch on a lot. Our next episode is going to be our
draft,
our pre-draft, post-Combine feelings and all that. We'll get that out in an episode, and after that, sometime before the draft, we will be betting the shit out of the draft. Hunter's huge into the draft.
Yep.
We will have a NFL draft extravaganza show where, we listen to Hunter go through some of his picks, some of his reasoning, because he does serious research on the draft.
Yeah.
I trust his picks on the draft more than I trust.
I mean, he's been looking at them since, the end of the bowl games.
Yeah.
So, dude, he's been looking at them
forever.
Since
forever.
Yeah. So, we'll touch over those next episode, but just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah, we're going to start sprinkling more bets on the Twitter. I know we need to get the TikTok up and running, but the Twitter will be it's more frequent updates, and we can update you about the show.
And I would also like to mention real quick, just because I have done so well at soccer this last month, my Twitter account at NFLPIKZ, I give out my soccer picks for free. I usually post 1 or 2 times on Thursday and Friday and give out my card for the whole weekend. I've cleared 8 or 9 units this month, so I've had a pretty good month on the soccer field. If you're looking to tail soccer bets and you don't want to do any research at all, and you want to trust my A-League research because I did crush the A-League last weekend as well, that would be where to find mine, and we can either retweet those on the Book Cooks Twitter account, or we can tweet those out separately. from the book cooks as well. But that is where I give mine away, and I just tweet my whole card out. You pick what you want, but
yeah,
I've been crushing it this month. Is why I like to bring it up now for sure, because last weekend was about 3.5 units, and I had a weekend a couple weeks ago that was a 4-unit weekend, and then the Champions League game between Real Madrid and Liverpool, which was an electric game, I cleared 4.88 units, so almost 5 units on that game.
That was a juicy one.
And we were sharp as shit.
Yeah, we knew it all week. We knew it all week. We saw the line on that Real Madrid.
If you didn't know, Liverpool goes up 2-0 at Anfield, so at home. And after that, Real Madrid, Vinny Jr. Oh my, Vinny Jr. You were just a beautiful
on
man.
A roll. So, I think we should take a little bit of time to explain literally what the Champions League is. Just a quick little glance, because not a lot of listeners. I mean, granted, there might be some people out there that
plenty of people know.
Yes, but just for a quick little explanation here.
Yeah, so basically in all your big leagues in Europe, so you got your Bundesliga, your Serie A, your EPO. You even have
it's the Germany has their league, Spain has their league, and all these teams in Europe, or all these countries in Europe have their leagues.
So the top 2 or 3 teams out of those leagues, I believe it's 2 for certain leagues and 3 for others, get to go to the Champions League qualifiers the next year.
Yep.
Okay, so finishing top 3, and then if you finish in the next 3, you get to go to the Europa League qualifiers, which is the same thing as the Champions League, but it's like you're playing. Think about it like the World Cup, but it's club teams. So like the Bundesliga's best team. So Bayern Munich, for example, on Wednesday plays Paris Saint-Germain, the best team in France. The best team in Germany versus the best team in France.
It's going to be electric.
So it's the best club teams from those, and they have to place high in their standings in their league that year before to qualify for that. And then they have to qualify through the Champions League qualifiers as well.
Yes, so there's 32 teams, and then
that's how they qualify.
Yes, so they when they get to the Champions League, there's 8 groups of 4, and then so there's 32, and then the top 2 from those groups of 4 move on to the round of 16. That's where we are right now. We are
and
on
it's like a bracket.
Yes, and we are in the second leg of the round of 16. One leg at home, one leg away.
And the way that they do that is that they basically just add the scores from both games together. So it's why it makes it so interesting. Like if I'm up 1-0 and I'm going back home, if that team scores a goal early in that game, the complete complexion of that game changes, because now you're going to be going to extra time. And that's another 30 minutes plus penalty kicks at the end. And so essentially it's the most important tournament for your PSGs of the world, your Bayern Munichs of the world, your Man Cities of the world, because those teams expect to win their league every single year. If you look at any of those given teams, over the last half decade or decade, they've won most of their tournaments within their league.
Listen to it if I'm doing something. So yeah, we're gonna preview that. So we got 4 games this week: 2 on Tuesday, 2 tomorrow. On Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday. Which one do you want to cover first? There's 2 big ones that we'll spend more time on, and then there's 2 that aren't as juicy as a matchup. So that we'll still Jack will touch on.
Right.
That.
So tomorrow, one of the glamorous games is going to be Club Brugge versus Portuguese team. What is it? Benfica. Benfica versus Club Brugge. I watched the first game. Benfica pretty much had control the whole game. Didn't really, Brugge is from Belgium. They're a pretty good team, but I don't think they really are a world class type team that the Champions League requires. I would describe them as more of a Europa League level team, like the Europa Championship. So that game, I did bet they're over 1.5 goals in that game. They're up 2-0 and going home. Minus 240 favorites in the game. It's
minus 270 now.
It's not. They're not the highest scoring team. Neither is Club Brugge. I wouldn't hate betting an under 2.5 in that one. But again, as soon as Club Brugge scores 1 in that, it makes it 2-1 on aggregate. And then that game could go wide open too. Yep. I mean, that game could go all of a sudden from let's say they get a goal on the counter, out of nowhere. against the run of play, that game's going to go from Benfica attacking, Club Brugge defending, to the other way around. And then if Club Brugge gets another one, that game's wide open.
Yep.
I love tomorrow. Also is Dortmund versus Chelsea. Dortmund's been on an incredible run of form lately. They haven't lost in a very long time. They are going on the road at Chelsea, which will be an absolutely ruckus crowd. Dortmund's up 1-0 on aggregate, and I think Chelsea probably gets one goal before halftime and makes it interesting. And from there, anything can happen. I actually lean towards betting Chelsea in this game if I'm going to bet it. Can you check the odds? I'll check the odds real quick.
Oh, this game?
Yeah, Chelsea. What's Chelsea's money line? Oh, they're favorites. Oh, wow, they're big favorites. That changes things. What's to qualify for next round? What are they? Same, pretty much, just a little bit more. Gosh. Okay. I mean, the value.
No, they're minus one.
I know. The plus 118, plus 120. I don't really love that to qualify. Starting the game down 1-0.
Yeah.
Actually, I would definitely lean towards Dortmund. What's the Dortmund to qualify? Minus 144. I don't love that either. That type of juice. I don't know if you can find a better number on that. Like if you get Chelsea like plus 150 to qualify, I would say the value's there. But at close to plus 115, I don't know.
And you mentioned that you could see this being like these teams are not notorious for scoring a bunch of goals. Correct.
Not in a tight ass game like this where Dortmund's going to start 1-0 up. They're going to start 1-0 up and they're going to be, playing aggressive because they know if they can get the second, they can really
keep
just put their foot on the game. But if they play too defensive and give one up early, this game could open wide open. I don't really love either side of this game. Could end 1-0 Chelsea full time. Like if that had like a bunch of juice, like if that's like plus 800 to bet, I wouldn't hate that because Chelsea have not had more than 2 goals in any game in like 8 games. So
that's funny you say that.
Like in their game, like not just Chelsea, the game total.
Yeah.
In 8 games total, their last 8, they have not had more than 2, and I think like 3 or 4 of those are goalless draws. So at home, they're not going to give up a lot of goals. What about Dortmund under 1.5 on their team total? I wouldn't hate that either if it wasn't. It's probably juiced out. Go to goals.
Yep. I was looking at this today.
I don't think Dortmund finds the net twice now. Every time, keep going, down.
Is it home?
Keep going. It's gonna be a away team. Keep going.
Oh, that was
Away team over under 1.5. What's the under?
Minus 310.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so them to score twice is what plus?
Dude, I'm saying this game.
they're
It's a
already
Champions
right
League.
there.
They're gonna be pressing. They're gonna be
No. You like to think this, but not this level of quality at this stage, dude. They don't want to mess like they're gonna be trying as hard as they ever try. They don't try it as hard in league games, but starting the game up 1-0 in a game that I already think is gonna be low scoring.
Here's I have 2 bets for this one.
I would lean to say that if I was going to bet that game, I'm betting Dortmund over 1.5 goals at plus 230. That value's there. I know I just raved about how Chelsea don't give any up and they don't score many, but at plus 230, I mean,
Are you gonna have any show plays?
I do have one. Yeah,
Okay.
it's going to be a big one for me.
All right, so mine for that game is Joao Felix to score or assist and Sterling to score or assist. They're both plus 115. I want to do both of those.
Okay.
It's worth mentioning Jude Bellingham is plus 750 to score. I think big-time players make big-time plays. Sprinkle half a unit.
Yeah. I don't hate that. He's a really good player.
All right, we're going to move on to the biggest game.
This is the game that I want to talk about.
Do you want to touch on Tottenham versus Milan?
Let's touch on that one real quick
Yeah,
so I
'cause
can
we-
get that out of the way. Harry Kane's a world-class player. There are rumors, swirling around Son. They're going to be able to keep him if he wants to stay. Tottenham have been disappointing fans and their players for what feels like half a decade now. They've been pretty underwhelming. I think it might be getting to the stage where Harry Kane's getting a little past his prime. I know he's a world-class player. I'm not bashing on Harry Kane at all.
Is it just me, or are they a good team on paper?
They're a good team on paper, but they always disappoint.
Yeah.
It seems to be the story every year in the EPL and the international tournaments. And
They got whooped up by Arsenal.
I will say, I think
And they're just dropping.
I think AC Milan is just not quite the standard of team that I expect in a Champions League squad that competes.
This is a weak game. Like, these teams are not.
I mean, AC Milan leads 1-0 going to Tottenham. This is going to be one of those situations where they're going to try to get an early goal. And they're going to try to change the complexion of this game. Tottenham is. While AC Milan defends their ass off and tries to score a counter goal. Now, AC Milan also plays in a lot of 1-0 games. I would like to mention that it's another type of game where I don't recommend that if you're going to choose one to watch, that it be this one. In the first game, AC Milan had 1.62 expected goals, and Tottenham had like 0.5. So, that's a game I don't love either side. I don't hate either side. I probably would lean towards the value on AC Milan. Draw no bet on the road there.
Yep.
Let's see, what is it? Tie no bet. What is it? Plus 200. Yeah, because that essentially means.
If they tie, they.
Oh, if I tie, I give my. So that's their money line with a little bit of insurance on it. Yeah, I'd probably.
Wait, it's the same thing as.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not because they can tie and go to extra time if. Well, I guess they can because if they tie, they win.
Yeah.
Wait, if they tie, they win that.
Wait, can they tie?
Hmm?
Can they tie?
Yeah, if they tie 1-1, they win 2-1 on aggregate.
Does it not go to PKs?
No, because they won 2-1 on aggregate. They're up 1-0 going into the second game.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, tie no bet.
So then you bet the money line if you're gonna bet that. Oh, it's the exact same thing.
Yes.
The exact same odds.
No. Tie no bet. Or
if they tie, they win on aggregate. But that's saying for the game. We're saying to qualify is what we're saying. So I would bet draw no bet AC Milan plus 200 there.
Yep.
And then my favorite game.
This game is going to be
Bayern versus PSG. The first game was not underwhelming. It was 1-0, but it was not underwhelming. I watched every minute of it. It was a very good game.
These are two teams that you could make a strong argument that
are the best in the world.
Are the best in the world, and that could be winning this tournament.
And they do spend some of the most money on their teams in the world. So they expect to win this tournament. This is the reason they spend the money on the world-class players. I'm going to put 2 units on Kylian Mbappe, anytime goal scorer, at plus 135.
I'm going to take him to score a goal and Mane to score a goal at plus 435.
When Mbappe got subbed in to their first leg of game, he looked extremely dangerous.
Messi to score or assist is minus 120. I'm going to feel comfortable putting 1.2 units on that because of the fact that I just think he makes everything happen, and he's the best player in the world. So
I think it's pretty possible that Bayern give up 2 goals in this game, and the value on PSG over 1.5 goals at plus 140 just really.
Do you like this? Kimmich to score or assist at plus 175.
Yeah, it's not terrible. When I look at those, I kind of have to look at recent form that players have been in because it's more of a thing in soccer than any other sport. Like if a dude doesn't score 25 in one basketball game, but it's Zach LaVine, he could come out the next night and score 25.
Yeah.
In soccer, it's like I feel like it's a lot about confidence when you're talking about players scoring or assisting. And I'm going to keep it simple this weekend in the Champions League and be a square. And my only play is going to be 2 units on Mbappe, just because again, he did score. It got ruled back by offside barely. Last time he got subbed in against Bayern, he'll be the best player on the pitch in this one, and that's saying something in this game. Messi's obviously all-time great. He's still all-time great, but I don't think anybody in the world really is on the level that Mbappe has consistently just been on. If you saw the goals that he scored against Argentina, he's ridiculous. And the fact that he's so young, I hope PSG can lock him up because I like watching PSG, and I like Mbappe a lot, and I like them being a world class competition like this against Bayern because Bayern's a fun team to watch. I watch them a lot as well. So this should be another all time great. Champions League game, which is nothing out of the norm.
Gotta keep your eye out for it.
Yeah.
Wednesday afternoon.
Wednesday at 2.
So that'll wrap it up for this episode. We're going to be discussing the draft, and then we're going to that draft. We'll preview it, and then we'll have another episode next week.
And this is more for post combine.
Yes,
The episode tomorrow is more for post Tim being at the combine.
Yes.
Hunter paying attention. I want to get both of their thoughts on, how they think the combine affected some guys' stock. Yada yada yada.
And then we got conference champions tournaments this weekend. It's fun, but those games and some of those big conferences don't mean as much. It's still for those what if teams. We'll have a podcast for March Madness next week. A lot of games to cover there. A lot of fun.
Oh boy.
It's arguably the best stretch of weeks.
It's time to
Gambling.
sit your ass on a recliner and stare at college basketball games all day long. Why not have some bets on them? Why not tail us on our college basketball bets?
Yes.
Tune in next episode for post combine. Episode after that, March Madness. Episode after that, NFL draft extravaganza.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thank you.